Katy Perry set out to make history, but instead, she ignited one of the harshest celebrity backlashes in recent memory. She boarded Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket, believing her 11-minute joyride would crown her a modern trailblazer for women in space. What she didn't see coming was the firestorm of outrage that followed, reshaping her image in a single afternoon and proving that, in 2025, spectacle without substance can send even the brightest stars plummeting back to Earth. The moment the countdown began, Perry's team framed the launch as a giant leap for female empowerment. Promo clips showed her suiting up, grinning from ear to ear, and talking about smashing glass ceilings beyond the stratosphere. Blue Origin's own press blasts echoed the language of NASA's golden age, painting the pop star as a worthy successor to Sally Ride and Mae Jemison. But the internet has a long memory. Within minutes of the televised liftoff, critics resurrected decades of genuine struggle by women astronauts, years of brutal training, isolation, and risk, versus Perry's ticket, reportedly priced in the low 8 figures. Posts piled up accusing her of renting progress for the day and cosplaying as a pioneer. One viral comment nailed the mood: "You didn't break a barrier, you bought an experience." Memes, mockery, and the speed of disappointment. Once the capsule touched down, social feeds detonated. Memes compared her flight suit to a designer Halloween costume. TikTok creators looped her weightless somersaults over sardonic captions like, "Meanwhile, on planet Rent-A-Cause." Twitter threads tallied the carbon footprint of the launch, then counterposed it against Perry's past eco-friendly messaging. The backlash accelerated because it meshed perfectly with wider cultural fatigue. Billionaire space tourism had already lost its novelty, and fans were weary of celebrity good deeds that smelled more like branding than belief. Perry's beaming face became the newest symbol of performative activism, and the jokes practically wrote themselves. The daisy that wilted in 0G. Among the pre-planned social snippets, the most ambitious was a slow-motion shot of a single white daisy, her daughter Daisy Dove's namesake, drifting inside the cabin. The footage was supposed to melt hearts. Instead, it morphed into a punchline. Commenters photoshopped the daisy onto images of luxury yachts and private jets, pairing it with captions like, "Eco-friendly vibes, just $8 million a seat." Insiders now claim Perry personally pushed to include that clip, hoping it would humanize the stunt. Seeing it trashed online reportedly hit her harder than any headline. A staffer confided anonymously that the daisy reel was yanked from her Instagram queue within hours, replaced by a generic thank you note typed in Notes app gray. Why timing was everything, and nothing was on her side. Perry's launch landed in a perfect storm of bad optics. NASA had spent the previous month dodging questions about its own diversity promises, while Blue Origin was fending off leaked employee memos describing a bro culture hostile to women engineers. Against that backdrop, a pop icon parachuting in to claim a feminist milestone looked tone-deaf at best, opportunistic at worst. Worse, commentators juxtaposed her rocket ride with ongoing crises back on Earth: record inflation, widening wealth gaps, and climate-fueled disasters. One columnist summed it up: "If you want to inspire little girls, fund their science classes, don't film yourself floating above their struggling planet." The line went viral, racking up millions of impressions and cementing the idea that Perry's stunt wasn't merely misguided, it was aggressively out of tune with reality. Industry friends turned cautious and then critical. In Hollywood, silence often speaks loudest. Within 24 hours, colleagues who routinely praised Perry's charitable efforts had gone conspicuously quiet. Then, the veiled jabs began. An Academy Award-winning actor tweeted about billionaire playdates in disguise. A chart-topping singer posted, "Real empowerment isn't an exclusive experience at Mach 3. PR experts explained the pile-on: "Today's celebrities know association is everything." By distancing themselves early, they dodge collateral damage and even earn credibility with an audience itching to see performative activism called out. For Katy, those stray comments cut deep. People she'd shared stages and charity galas with were now, effectively, subtweeting her downfall. Fans feel the betrayal. Yet the sharpest sting came from the Katy Cats, the die-hard fan base that once dyed their hair cupcake pink to match hers. They'd weathered label feuds, pop chart slumps, even that infamous left shark meme, but this felt different. In fan forums, longtime supporters confessed they couldn't defend her this time. "I've looked up to her since middle school," one wrote, but this just screams ego. Engagement on her posts dipped by double digits. Merch resale sites reported a sudden spike in fans offloading tour tees. For an artist whose brand thrives on earnest connection, that rift could prove harder to mend than any PR snafu. Inside the meltdown, a team in turbulence. Multiple sources say Perry's management went into hard lockdown mode the moment sentiment flipped. Scheduled talk show appearances were postponed due to travel conflicts. A glossy magazine spread titled "Katy Shoots for the Stars" was quietly pulled from its June issue. Even a rumored line of space-age empowerment NFTs was scrapped overnight. Behind closed doors, tempers reportedly flared. Some staff argued they should double down, lean into the controversy, spin it as courage in the face of criticism. Others begged for a heartfelt apology tour. Katy, exhausted and blindsided, vacillated. In the end, they chose silence, hoping the outrage cycle would burn out. Instead, the void filled with speculation and scorn. Performative activism, a 21st century pitfall. The Perry fiasco is merely the latest case study in a phenomenon scholars call cause commodification. Modern audiences have grown adept at sniffing out marketing masquerading as morality. When a gesture lacks lived experience or fails to channel resources toward real solutions, it rings hollow, sometimes lethally so for public reputation. Think of Leonardo DiCaprio's climate lectures overshadowed by yacht vacations, or fashion moguls touting sustainability while burning unsold stock. Katy's rocket ride slotted perfectly into that lineage. The hashtag said empowermentide, the price tag said exclusive thrill ride, and the difference triggered backlash, the collision of wealth, space tourism, and public mood. Blue Origin's tourism flights have faced criticism since day one, but Perry's presence weaponized that animosity. She isn't merely a wealthy passenger, she's a cultural symbol whose resume includes UNICEF ambassadorships and empowerment anthems. When such a figure embraces what many see as a billionaire hobby, the cognitive dissonance magnifies resentment tenfold. Moreover, 2025 has seen resurgent discourse on wealth inequality, spurred by sky-high housing costs and record corporate profits. In that climate, a multi-million-dollar suborbital selfie isn't neutral, it's provocation. Katy Perry unknowingly stepped onto that fault line, and the public response was an earthquake. Collateral damage, deals, docs, and dollars. The fallout quickly moved from Twitter threads to balance sheets. A streaming platform developing a docuseries on trailblazing women quietly severed discussions with Perry's reps. A sneaker company postponed a limited edition collaboration rumored to center on cosmic empowerment. Even a mid-six-figure speaking engagement at a global tech summit vanished when sponsors balked at the negative press. Insiders estimate the immediate financial cost in lost opportunities could top 7 figures. Small change for Perry, perhaps, but an unmistakable sign that the brand value she spent 2 decades cultivating had sprung a leak. Attempts at redemption, sincere or strategic? Sources near the singer insist she has taken the criticism to heart. Early drafts of a public letter reportedly emphasized humility, regret, and a commitment to concrete action, funding STEM scholarships, partnering with underserved schools, maybe even canceling a leg of her tour to free up time for hands-on outreach. Yet crafting a comeback is tricky. If the gesture is too grand, it risks more cynicism. Too modest, and skeptics call it lip service. The tightrope is razor thin. Demonstrate growth without turning that growth into a spectacle. Lessons written in rocket exhaust. At its core, the Katy Perry saga is a parable about modern celebrity. In an always-on media ecosystem, authenticity isn't a luxury, it's oxygen. Audiences can accept wealth, fame, even lavish indulgence, but only when accompanied by self-awareness and consistency. The moment a star's actions contradict their narrative, social capital evaporates. Perry marketed empowerment. The audience saw entitlement. She preached inclusion. Viewers saw an exclusive club floating above their struggles. That gap between message and lived reality proved fatal. Can she re-enter Earth's atmosphere? History offers hope. Stars like Robert Downey Jr., Miley Cyrus, and even Taylor Swift have stumbled, regrouped, and returned stronger. The blueprint? Own the error, pivot to meaningful work, and let time plus tangible action heal the brand. For Katy, the first step might be the hardest. Speak plainly, no stylized notes app font, no cosmic metaphors, just a candid acknowledgement that she misread the moment. Follow that with transparent commitments, funds transferred, hours volunteered, partnerships disclosed, and then keep quiet, allowing deeds to speak. The broader cultural shift. Whether Perry recovers or not, her misadventure spotlights a shifting social contract between public figures and their fans. Where once a catchy single could erase a misstep, audiences now demand alignment between lyrics, lifestyle, and larger world issues. That's partly due to the democratizing might of social media. Fans can talk back, cross-check facts, and mobilize boycotts in real time. It's also a byproduct of crises, pandemics, climate extremes, economic squeezes that make performative luxury look obscene. Space tourism, once the stuff of sci-fi wonder, now reads as tone-deaf escapism when headlines scream about melting ice caps. Final descent. From pop queen to cautionary tale. Katy Perry dreamed of rocketing past earthly limits, carrying a daisy for her daughter and a banner for equality. The intention may have been pure, but intention unmoored from context can crash like debris. She learned in the harshest way that authenticity isn't a costume you can zip over a flight suit. It's a series of choices, lived daily, scrutinized hourly, and judged in milliseconds by millions. Will she rise again? Possibly. Pop culture loves a redemption arc. Yet her story now joins the syllabus of Celebrity Miscalculations 101, a vivid reminder that good PR cannot outthrust bad perception, and that in 2025, the fastest way to burn goodwill is to mistake altitude for impact. Katy Perry aimed for the stars. In the process, she taught the world a lesson no crisis manager playbook can ignore. If your rocket's fuel is pure spectacle, be prepared for a re-entry that's faster, hotter, and far more painful than the launch. If you guys enjoyed our content, do hesitate to subscribe, comment, and like this video because we are just getting started with the deep dives. See you in the next video.